welcome to today's episode of Spotlight with Ivy. Today, we're discussing a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
We spend thousands of naira or dollars on Father's Day gifts, post tributes on social media about how amazing our dads are, or we can't really have a real conversation with them about how we truly feel.
This is Ivy calling out Nigerian men. I'm not here with her.
It's Ivy and Omobola calling out men in general. But yeah, men, I mean, it's something that we've got to fix. The surface level father-children relationship is not something that I think really works and something that we need to fix. My name is Ibukun, like she has rightly mentioned, and I'm your host.
And my name is Omobola Akinde, and I'm the co-host of Spotlight with Ivy. We're in another episode of Spotlight with Ivy with Men of Valor.
Yes, that's our season title. And today we are diving into something that connects everything we talked about so far: masculinity, mental health, money, and that's fatherhood.
And not just being a dad, but dealing with the complicated relationship so many of us have with our fathers. The daddy issues conversation isn't just for women, guys.
Yeah, so men had amazing dads who were present, supportive, emotionally available, but a lot of men didn't. A lot of men are carrying wounds from absent fathers, distant fathers, or fathers who did their very best but did not connect.
And now we're at that crossroad. Those men becoming fathers themselves, trying to break generational cycles. Others are still healing from childhood traumas while trying to build healthy adult relationships.
Today, we're talking about absent fathers, present or emotionally unavailable fathers, and what it means to heal those relationships or accept that some can't really.
But first, Ibukun, if your relationship with your father is a very interesting question. If your relationship with your father was a Nigerian movie, what would the title be?
Nigerian movie. I'm sorry, I can't even say what movie because the wrong.
Just from a title. If you were to give it a
I actually can't think of any title now. One that came to mind, I'll go for me that will say that. But Nigerian movie, sorry, none comes to mind. You?
Okay.
So if I'll say American movie, I'll say Sound of Music. So
okay. Sound of Music.
And that's it's my favorite all time movie.
Okay. Yeah. I know there's a movie like that. I can't remember if I watched it, but I'll call it This Is Love.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, but that's funny. Okay, so what's our main focus today?
Today we're talking about modern fatherhood, what it means to be the dad you needed when you were a kid, and how to heal from the dad you actually had.
We're diving into father wounds, forgiveness, and breaking generational cycles. Plus, we're asking the hard question: how do daddy issues affect how we show up in our relationship?
Joining us today is Chris Odeh, one of Nollywood's most prolific producers with nearly 15 years in the industry, from blockbusters like Living in Bondage, Breaking Free, to mentoring the next generation of filmmakers through the annual Masterclass with Chris Odeh. Chris understands storytelling from every angle. Clap for
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate
You should dive in.
All right. So before we dive in, I really want to acknowledge that. Don't mind Ibukun. But before we dive in, I want to acknowledge that this topic might bring some difficult emotions to our listeners. Some of you might have had great relationship with your fathers. Others might have had complicated ones. Some might have had no relationship at all. All of these experiences are valid. Now, I want to ask you a question, Mr. Chris.
Yes.
Okay. What's the most Nigerian dad thing you have ever said to your sons? I know you have 3 sons.
Have you eaten?
And that's like the most loving thing.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, it's of love. When you hungry?
But you cook for them.
I do. Well, I'm not a good cook, so I make noodles for them when I can, fry eggs when I can. And you know that you make the meal for the soup, but I don't know how to cook the soup.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
How many sons do you have?
I have 3 sons.
How old are they?
12 going on 13, 10 going on 11, and 7 going on. Wow! 7 going on 8.
You just have
The
another
last
son.
one, no, please. I've left it for them to go and bring the girls.
You left it for them.
I am open for daughters-in-law.
At this early age.
No, that was to be secreted from 2030.
But he has plenty children, Sha,
Yeah, I have
that are not
I have plenty
biological.
daughters.
Plenty.
daughters and sons. So, but I really think I'll be a very great father-in-law.
Oh, you do?
Like
They're really looking forward to
I
this
am,
experience.
except Jesus comes.
So if your son comes at 18 now, he wants to
No,
get
can you even try?
Why you warned him?
I just told him, you have to learn how to enjoy friendship with girls before you can make them lovers. So it's the time for everything.
Tell us about your relationship with your father.
So you guys talking about if your relationship with father was a movie. I said mine would be the CEO.
Wow.
He was very, very business-like. He was very direct. He was on the clock. 7 a.m. he's up and into the car. He honks the horn. You get to the car in 15 minutes, he leaves you and drives it. You don't go to school. He comes back home by 1:30. He has his lunch. He goes to bed 2 to 3. He wakes up and goes back to work. Comes back by 7 p.m. And then he watches TV, the news by 7, the news by 9, he goes to bed. So you have to find the cracks in this world to be able to have conversations. So most times we have to have our mom as the lawyer, intermediary. Or when you hear the horn, obviously you have to make sure everything is proper form. He loves his room. He did love smoking there. So when you're talking to him, he's smoking and he smoke. You know how you go to those mafia films and the bad guys like, so what do you want? That's like me and my dad, that. But you could tell behind all of the curtains that I was a very loving, faithful, focused man. He died when I was 19. I was 19 when he died. But he has taught me more in his death than in his life. Like now I began to understand what he was saying after he left us. And that was only the peculiar thing for me. So, but my dad was a very firm, very, very firm. But one thing I never saw him do was fight with my mom in front of us. Or he never hit my mom throughout. Well, because of my knowledge, he hit my mom while where I was alive. And the day I heard about the word divorce, I didn't know it existed till secondary school.
Wow.
That's how good they were. And now I'm hearing that he did some things that were not very, now I'm going to realize, daddy did that.
Your mom actually
so obviously, at some point we have to find out, like, who is, why is, so we realized that they did a very good job in keeping the relationship very airtight. So they'll go to their room, lock their door and have their conversations. No tone, use their words and not shout at each other. And people also came to the house to come solve their problems. So obviously people looked up to their relationship. But it wasn't the perfect one, but they were able to manage their differences. So I came up with a slogan that every marriage will work if people around it make it work. So I just think nobody has a perfect one. Just make it work. And that's one thing he left with us. And my 3 brothers, were 4 of us, all have very beautiful homes. Very beautiful homes. And I'm grateful that they taught us that.
Wow. So daddies actually have a role to play in the kind of marriages that sons have.
Are you kidding? I really think the fathers determine how people see God, how people see leadership, and how people see even the world at large. When you see people that drive past the traffic light is red, it could be a sign of a daddy issue. For who doesn't like to be told what to do. And when you see people not unable to worship the Father in heaven, it could be daddy issues. So as much as we link it only to husbanding and all of that, but it's more than that. Sometimes it's even how you just see when someone tells you, don't walk through that door, you just feel the need to rebel. It's because you've been submerged all your life. Nobody has told you keeping the rules and keeping to the law is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. So we think that when we break the law, we are stronger, we are wiser. It's from the fatherhood. I think that fathers are meant to be models, mentors, and managers. I think they have to be to be the example so they can watch you do as I do, not what I say, and also be able to say it. I was just telling Oprah when I was sitting there, I said, the best way to describe fatherhood is when you are, when you're molding something and it's on the spinning stuff. Pottery. You have to be hard at some point and soft at some point. If you're too hard, you can break it down. If you're too soft, you can something and do. So fatherhood has to be malleable. You have to be, so that's the mold, when to speak hard, when to be friendly, when to chill, when to just allow them. Like I tell my wife, I sometimes surprise the kids. If you've done something wrong, you expect daddy to break your head, and daddy comes and says, go have a drink in the fridge. Oh, we're drinking the drink. I'm wondering,
Is that poison?
am I about to die? That thought corrects him more than even the whole yelling. Just don't be predictable. Because at some point they will grow the immunity. And then what's on mean anything. So you have to be able to know when to be hard. And then most important is also be able to check on them, monitor them. Because when you've taught them and you have showed them the example, also check up on them and say, hey, so if a girl in your class tells you she loves you, what are you going to do? He says, one of my sons says, I will tell her, I don't know if I can love you because I'm in the plan love you. And that was 10 years. The other one says, you say I love you too, that's the last one of these days. But the first one didn't say anything. And that's when I knew there was a problem. And I asked her, and I realized I told my wife that when it's just one to forget it's liking. But I know when girls hit puberty, there's some ugliness that comes on it at some point. Girl does look different. So he got the shock. Yes, he got the shock and he just said, I don't like her anymore. I told her, I said, bruh, you're going to get married, your wife's going to get pregnant. It's going to look quite, sometimes very ugly. And if you're the guy that goes with what the looks are like, then what are you going to cheat on your wife at that point? And what's cheating?
Another topic.
My brother, but those are times when you check with them because sometimes you assume they know stuff, but we don't know that they even think they know stuff, but you really don't know how strong you are till you're tested. So that test of really telling him I love you was a test of his entire understanding of the word romance and love. And I think we should do that more often, interact with them, check. So as I said, model for them, be the example, mold them, speak, teach, show, thirdly, monitor them, test them, see if you want the child to be a good money handler. Give him, one of them had a bad exam recently, and I said to him, they're not going to watch TV again. And every day you miss TV, I'll give you 1,000 naira.
Wow.
I'm going to do a 90 days rule. He failed on the 4th day.
Wow.
He failed on the 4th day. He gave up. I went to watch TV and said,
he doesn't want the money.
Even though with tears in his eyes, you could see that he was disappointed, but that was 90K in his pocket at that age. But then again, I'm going to try it again with him, but he failed that one. So what I'm just saying is you have to be able to check, mold, and
So it is seen that the quality of men that we are having, or fathers that we have, is dropping.
Is it?
Well, I'm not the one to.
I think the quality of men is dropping faster than the quality of fatherhood. I think there's something in the baby in the arms of a man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, what was that for you? The first time you became a father?
So I've always been a responsible guy, if you like to say. I've always been that guy that kept the rules, stay straight. Well, I have to watch it someday. So lie. So look out on your comment section and say, and baby, please don't come up. We can talk about it. But I think I've always been I had a wild teenage and I went straight and I became born again and I started to live according to rules. And when I got married at 29.
Oh.
At 29, and it was at the lowest point in my life, my career. Man, I was if you read my book after 12:30, I said, man, I can't lose this wife or this girlfriend I had. Because she was the only one I dated in that time. Like, good to now. So I did date till I was ready to marry, and then when I dated her, I married. So I don't have all those old blasts from the past. In case you're out there, you could text me. But I really didn't have that. No ex. I'm no one's ex. I don't want sex, but then again, I don't know what that feels like. So, so when I become married, we were not sure if we wanted the child to come in immediately because we also were Christians, so we had to confess. We didn't go all out. So, and I'm not careful. I don't know what I'm supposed to talk about or what I'm not supposed to talk about in a relationship. My wife is very private in a relationship. So, but when we got married, we were not sure if we wanted to have a child or not. But later I realized that when you go 6 months after your marriage and you don't have a child.
People begin to say,
this society, was this you now?
So I don't. We should have just got pregnant. I don't think we ever said, okay, it's time to get pregnant now. I knew we said we were going to take our time, but later we just realized that maybe she was pregnant. So I began to plan for the child, but you buy the wrong clothes, wrong sizes, bought the wrong pampers, bought the wrong diapers.
Did you want the girl or boy?
Hey, this question. So I wanted only one child and a daughter. So I was a strong admirer of the Clinton and Hillary, and their child Chelsea. So I was going to have one daughter and call her Chelsea. So, yes.
You had planned your life.
My dear. Then they brought the script and it was the character had changed. So, that's the reason I thought we had the top child, because
You were looking for Chelsea.
we're looking for Chelsea.
You should write a book looking for Chelsea.
I'll tell you. I know when the first child came out, it was a beautiful, beautiful son. I was shooting that day, so I came. It was a long section. She had 6. So it was a long section. So I told my pastor's wife, I need to go and quickly just check the set. I'm packing her now. By the time I was there, they said, come here, she has born. So I rushed back. So it was already done. So I was now paying bills in the clinic, going to buy stuff. It turns to a routine after a while. So I didn't have the time to process the emotion.
Yeah.
So till when we got home, and I now held him and I played this song, Kuchi Kuchi by Jude. I even said I message on Twitter saying to her that your song made my child sleep every day. And she responded. I was like, oh my God, my son is But it was a dawning on me that, because I used to be very crazy. I would travel for documentaries. I would go into war areas in Sambisa Forest. I go on boat trips without the life jacket and I can't swim. I used to do those crazy things. Yes, I will drive. I'll be in the car. Driver is a 160. I'll say, if you eat carrots, then you will die. So when I held him, I just realized that I'm no more just responsible for myself, but I have to take care of myself because of his sister. And from then it just began to change me from just not even being just responsible, but also being responsible for other people. So I don't think love made me responsible as much as fatherhood. I loved her and I wanted her to be okay, but she's also an adult taker of herself. But now there's this fragile child so I needed him to, I knew that the next 18 years of his life had to be there. And that was the layer of responsibility for me. I found myself changing. I used to go into the kitchen, started trying to see if I can try, that kind of thing. I started trying to see if I could be sensitive. I had to be more, I didn't like PDA. I didn't like it, but I had to realize that these kids have to see daddy and mommy. So I have to start learning. I'm very good at it now.
Yes, I can say that.
I remember they are like, come on, baby.
Oh my God.
I want to show it.
Yeah, the people that used to choke.
My kids are like, there are kids here. I'm like, yeah, oh, you get your own wife. But I had to learn that. But second son now brought another layer. Because with the first son, the things I missed that I could fix with the second son.
For example?
So, for example, with the first son, I felt there were things that were for the woman to do for him. And there were things I was supposed to do as a father. But then I realized I could do everything I wanted to do if I wanted to do.
So it was not like, he had to be my wife.
So anything that needed to be done, that I had to either learn it or do it. They're not saying, no, leave that one. You first spoil it. Well, I was making an attempt to do it. So I became more involved with, I hate cleaning, I hate sweeping, I just think that everything should happen with the prayer. I tell my mom that, see, I don't need to learn how to clean or sweep. When I make it, I want to hire someone to do all that for me. You know what I can't tell them to do for me? They can't think for me.
I'm sure your mother will be like,
why should somebody do your mugo? You know mugo,
yeah.
So you can clean diaper. And I'm the last one, so I was very like you can clean. Then the third one. So the first two, I wasn't in the theater with. So then the third one now. Pepe don't rest now, so I was able to talk to my friend. I said, "Guy, I need to be in that theater." She gave me the whole scrubs, mask, everything. I entered, and they were there just slicing.
Dicey.
I was like, "Bruh, take it easy. Why let's come out of here alive. Why I kill you?" Then the baby was pulled out, and we did this car. So we did this car because we didn't want to.
We didn't expect Chelsea.
So the useless guy, Dr. Phil, pulls out the baby and says, "Omona boy." He did it on purpose to irritate me. And then I experienced a miracle that day. So I went in there to have the baby. The moment he came out and it's a boy, I just, how you want water so badly, someone gives you something else, then you drink it and you feel like that's what you wanted all along. So I just felt like, what stops you from having a different kind of child? And that's when I came up with the thing that when I turned 50, I adopted a baby girl. And I want to see how you can have a child that's not biologically yours, and from loving her, she becomes yours. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do that when I'm 50. That's in a few years from now. And it happened. I got that inspiration in the theater with my child still bloodied up, my wife still cut open, and they're trying to put her together. I just thought and I said that could also be one of the greatest fathers-in-law. Because a lot of father-in-laws are not able to connect with their thought, because different generations,
Yeah.
but there's a way that you can show your son that this wife of yours is beautiful, she's valuable, she's all of that. And they can say, if daddy loves this girl, this one, and I love daddy. Even when they have the chips, I say, I can't bring this girl out because my father will kill me.
Yeah.
He will help him channel, because what I say to people is, why you say men are wayward crazy, because not a lot of men that are under authority. We think
Why
that,
do you think that is?
because there's people think rebellion is power. Where you lack control. So I have a quote on my email, I sent an email for you, I've seen it. I wrote, power is nothing without control. So there's power somewhere, but if you don't have control, it's nothing. You can destroy. You have to control power for power to be. We have light here, because the power from the generator is being controlled through cables down here through regulators, so it can give us all of this. If you go just take the cable and put it on the building, you're going to burn down the building. So you need to control power for power to be useful. And men need to understand that the fact that you don't feel like you're in control of your life does not make you less powerful. You have to have regulations. You have to have people or a person. You have to be accountable. Let me say you have to be accountable. Anything that's not accountable for, it's not regulated, and by extension, it's not power. It's not real power. So we raise men who feel like you don't have liberty. How do I put this? So you are out of the office by 5 and you're going home by 7, and you just feel the need to go see a friend by 8, and you don't feel the need to text your wife all the thank you, and to say, hey girl, I'm going to see Tosin by the street. If I'm going to go, you feel, am I a woman rapper? Yes, you are a woman rapper. That's what you are. It's also cover her nakedness. So you are a woman rapper. So it's a dynamic that I think even our culture supports in a way, and also people like freedom so they can do what they want to do. But see, when you do that, apart from the fact that you're setting up yourself to become a canon, that's good as put someday, you're also not patterning the right lifestyle. Like I said, my father taught me more in his death than when he was alive. Because he had created a pattern of, no matter what it is, respect your womb. I remember one time when he was preaching, he said that if your husband calls your wife, stupid woman, this shouldn't be angry, because it means if he's stupid, it means he's Mr. Stupid and he's stupid. That's sort of your one. So, and it was very simple, but it was very deep. Yes. Because if you say we're one and you call me foolish,
That means we are both foolish.
call me glutton.
You are both
So that's what it is. So it's for me, I think men feel like they think that liberty is power. But honestly, imagine a country without laws, without constitution. It's nothing. It's nothing. So if you think a nation is built by the principles and those kinds of things, then that means for your own life, there have to be some sort of structure, some sort of order. Like I said to women that are close to me, you have a man you love, he's chiseled-chested, everything, he smells good, he's tall, hung, sweet caramel, chocolate, and he doesn't have anybody that if you mention the person's name, he sits down to say not out of just fear, but out of respect, that reverence that is strong enough to control or to alter his decision. That's a dangerous man. If he says, yeah, they do what he listens to. Dangerous. He has to be his father, he could be his pastor, his imam, his lecturer, his mentor, his boss in the office. And he cannot even be somebody on his level. Because that's also dangerous. Because you see, you have to be a balance. You have to be something from up or something from the side. You have to have somebody that can say to you, Chris, why are you doing this? Don't do it. And you have to that experience. This is why I'm doing so. Okay. You have to be that person. And that person has to be.
A lot of men don't have mentors because, like you said, they just like that system of I'm free to do anything and all of that. And we are even having generation of Gen Zs that are like, I want to live my life on my terms. I don't care what my father thinks. Do you understand? And they are not understanding the case of submission to authority and reference. What do you say about that?
So it's like someone who has ideas and is wise and intelligent, but if you go to school. So you're wise, yes, you can figure things out on your own, but you're going to be figuring a lot of things out through your life. Things that are already figured, you're going to be reinventing a wheel that's already invented. So this man will obviously look like he's in charge. Trust me, he's not. I'll give a very simple example. Like Ulu and Tinubu. Yes, Ulu has become, we now know him, but the first video they made I saw on TV, someone that don't say it was a drug kill. That's one thing they said about him. I was judging the guy from just that first video because Ambody was the guy that I kind of liked before that happened to Ambody. But from Tinubu, we found a DNA from Tinubu that we now placed on someone, and he now has proven himself from that. Now he's a different entity on his own. People want to trace you to somewhere before they're able to establish you. So that's how power flows. You can't just pop out from nowhere and just be on your own. You can only operate like that on the lowest level. The higher you go, the bigger you become, the more you need a structure. This place is a single room. So if you want to put a story building on all these things, you need to go back and fix the foundation. But the foundation was already fixed from the beginning to take 10 stories. They can just keep adding. Yeah. So that man that you see that looks like he's getting everything going on, it's because it's just on the first level. By the time it gets to the 10th level, I saw a video today where they called Dangote, the president of Dangote Refinery, in front of Tinubu, and he came up and said, "Stop calling me president when the president is here." It was a simple joke, but I understood what he was trying to do there, the dynamics of power. Yeah. I can't have this man against me when I'm doing the refinery that will sell the fuel to the same people that he leads. This man has a lot of ego. If I can massage his ego a bit, I'll get some. That's a wise man. You can come and say, well, he's a president of refinery. You know,
president and president. We are president.
But there's someone that understands the dynamics of power. That's what a man who feels he should be alone to do what he wants to do. Let me tell you the truth. Lack of control is actually a sign of childishness. Lack of structure. When you tell the child to write, they scribble. But now you have to now get a handwriting book. You draw the red lines, the blue lines, so you follow. So you now learn it. Now, as an adult, if you're writing and you go, you say, is everything okay? Are you autistic? Are you? Because they expect you to follow their guidelines. So that thing that is exciting you, and you want to stay in the beer parlor, come back by 5 a.m. and slap the woman and go to bed, that's what makes you a child. And the Bible says that when I was a child, I thought like a child. That's a sign. It's a symptom of childhood. And some people didn't even enjoy their childhood, so they're living it in their old age. Yeah. And I as much as I want to blame the men and I say to them, do it, but honestly, if you go to the store to go buy a pair of shoes, if your size is 40, you're not going to buy a 45.
Because that's what's available.
So buy your size of husband. I do for men who can lead you. John Maxwell says if a person is at 7, you can never have a family or organization that's at 10. It will be at 6 or 5. So if you marry your husband that's at 7, and you tell yourself your cutoff is 7. I'm not talking about class of life, I'm talking about reasoning and processing and how the person sees life. So find somebody who sees life. I'm not saying that's proven it, but at least their perspective from where they are. It's the kind of perspective you want to get. They have to be some sort of
for
leadership.
Your children.
Exactly.
What about people that didn't grow up with fathers? So you had that example. But for people that didn't grow up with fathers, so they don't understand, maybe they didn't grow up with a loving mother, loving grandmother, they don't understand the concept of what it means to be fathers. How do they get to experience something like this so that they also can replicate?
So I think one of the problems has maturity is to process yourself and know what you have and what you learn. Because no matter who you are, there's some things that you never learned. I'll show you a simple example. So when I was a kid, I felt like the faster you do stuff, the better for you. So you do stuff, the better for you. I believe that you should be fastest before you're best. So I was rushing schoolwork. So I was 8 years and I was done with primary school. I was get to secondary school. I skipped 2 classes, primary 5 and 10, but 6. So I went to secondary school and I was very good in mathematics. So this day they did a test and I was second or third place, and the teacher was like, you're very good. Why did you fail this thing? So there's a class called compound interest. Stop. I missed it in primary 5. And this thing we didn't need compound interest to solve the problem. And I didn't do it. So I had to spend my 3rd term GS1 talking to a classmate of mine to teach me from Lacombe. I don't know if you guys know Lacombe.
Yeah, I remember.
From Lacombe, compound interest and all of those things back then. By the 3rd term, I even did better than we. Because I had not covered up. So I knew what I lacked. I went to someone that knew it to teach me. And then I ended up being better than the person that taught me because I have my 80%. I'm looking for the remaining 20%. They give to me. Then I'm now 100%. So if you lack wisdom, you go and learn it. There are books. There are seminars. Now, information is everywhere in the world. And as much as it's also be careful how you pick it. I think people need to learn and understand that fatherhood has a pattern and a principle. And then second, I'm going to give a second analysis again about the story I like to share all the time. So this man was an armed robber and he died. And he had 2 sons. And one of the sons became an armed robber, and the second one became a police. And he asked the armed robber, your father was an armed robber, that you two taught your armed robber. He said, yes, my father like saw. Father was an armed robber, and I just thought it was the best thing to do. He asked the second son, why did you become a police? He said, my father was an armed robber. And so I saw how his life went, and I said, no. I have to change the story. So I became a police to fight
So
thieves.
choose the one.
So you see, life can throw you action, but you have to now choose your reaction. When you grow and you become mature, you have to analyze the things that life gave to you that you need. Things that life gave to you, you need to reverse to use. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If I came here with the back of my clothes, you're going to ask me, Mr. Chris, everything okay? They are my clothes and I wore them, but I want them in the reverse way. You get the point? Imagine you're trying to go forward and put your car on R. You're going to go backwards. So you've learned negative fatherhood. You're not supposed to now change the gear to drive. Then you can now engage it. All I'm saying is people need to understand that life might have thrown you some terrible fatherhood, terrible uncle. Some people were even abused by their fathers, insulted, and also you have the right to stop it at your own generation and not replicate it. And how do you do that? You have to now use that to choose the kind of friends you have. You have to choose. So the people that get married and make their wives fathers, their fathers.
Yes.
So what stops you from doing that? I'm not about adopting a child. It's not my biological child, but I will not love her less than I love my sons. But I went there because I want to show. I keep thinking that adoption is one of the best miracles of this world. To pick someone like Jesus picked us and now love us like we are his biological children. That's fantastic. Imagine walking that girl down the aisle on a wedding day. And to know that I went to an orphanage to say that one. And then 25 years later, she's now my own, and I'm maybe teary, and I'm saying, oh my God, it's a beautiful experience. So yes, it's beauty of having a child that you give birth to. But that's one. There's another one called adoption. So I think men need to understand that if you lacked it, you go and find it. We all eat food, but some of us take supplements. In case the food you're eating doesn't have the supplement, you will not take the drug to supplement it. So if your fatherhood structure doesn't have some particular things, like my dad used to buy us birthday gifts. Nobody gives us birthday pepper soup. Every birthday must drink pepper soup. So that was his own way of showing love. I can't see my child's birthday and not do anything. Even if I'm broke, we'll buy a lollipop. Because I feel like that is important in the child's life. I think I'm saying. Yes. I learned that from my father. But that is my father did to me as a child that I'm also not very excited about or happy. So I believe that you should not hit a child or young. I think that before you go hit the child, you need to also explain why you hit the child. Because when the child feels like when you're angry, you express anger with violence, they learn that. But that's not what you're trying to correct it. So if you're trying to correct me, then the beating is the punishment, but it's not the correction. So I have to say to you that because you want to watch TV after 11, TV goes off by 8 o'clock in the house. I'm going to spank you 6 times. Because it's the first time. Next time with 12 times. So turn, hold the table, bend your bum bum, pa, pa, pa. Whether he responds or not, I'm not going to get angry and make it 7. 6 is 6.
Keep to your word.
Keep to your word. I'm going to hit 6 and now hit 8, 9. You are not.
He's not paying me.
Criminal. That's what. So you have to learn those kinds of things. And my dad was the kind of person that would pull the shoe and fling it at me and stuff. He never beat me because of his husband.
How do you balance punishment?
It's in the dialogue. I can say it's in the dialogue. It's in the conversation. So, first of all, I think if you want to run a home, you have to have a rules and regulation.
Do you think you're the hard one, you and your wife?
So our dynamics are very, very different in the house. So my kids know that if dad is angry with you, you're done. Mom is angry with you, you get what but after the what you can see eat spaghetti. Or that will. So if you know me, I will give you, even in the office, I will give you space to be doing your nonsense. I'll be smiling. When you not get to when the thing break, it doesn't repair again. So I have a lot of leeway, but you don't want to get to the end of the game. And that's because of my leadership dynamics. I was created to be top. I don't sound proud. So I was created to be top of leadership. So even as a child, I was always leading all my life. So I understand that. So I'm not quick to influence. If someone starts shouting outside, I'm not the first to go there. If you go outside and come back and I see your face, you don't fix it for them now. That's how my life is. Even as a father, as a human, as whatever. I wait for people around me to respond before I want to be the last to respond. So I know my own is the block off on the table. So my wife responds, and my wife is like, as we are put on the TV, you're collecting slap on the back of the head. No, I wait for you to put on the TV, I'll see what you want to watch. I'll see how you relax, you put the remote control, put on this.
With unit.
Yeah, unit. When you're done, and I say, so when you were put on the TV, did you see what past says? And you didn't process that, your dad is angry. So you didn't even process it. That's another problem, that you did bad, I didn't even process the bad. So because I want to come from that. So they think that I'm soft, because it takes a long time for me to get angry with you. But when you now get to that point, many days I slapped myself.
Wow.
He was shocked. So they slapped. It was dad slapped me. Because he was doing something. He was even towards my wife. He was just doing something. I said, my wife, you're not his mom. It's something that my wife, and I was like, bro, the husband of this wife is sitting in the same room.
With you.
Behave yourself. So he looked at me and he was like, what's the worst that happened? And he continued. And I said, you do not do that. Do not try to destroy your wife in front of me. You never, in your life, in childhood, old age, if you don't have what to say, you walk away. Do you understand my point? So now in his head, it's registered that when daddy is around mommy, arrange yourself well. But I didn't, I'm not the guy that will jump up, but that was for me, that was crossing the line, because you cross the line with me in every way I can wait, but my wife, cross the line. So that he learned that. But back to she's the feisty, she's the very, women are very, for me as a man, I might be angry and still hold my anger and look and watch and prepare myself. Yes, I do. As I said, you have to be soft and hard. So I believe in penalties and compensation. So if I do something wrong, you face penalty. Do something right, you get a compensation. So for example, if you write your work or something and you pass, there's a compensation, there's a gift, there's a incentive. And if you do and you fail, you collect. And it's not even, I'm not even very quick to flog. So that is like maybe seize your PS5, it is like maybe you sleep by 8 o'clock, it is like maybe family goes out and you're at home alone. That's kind of things. So you're not alone, they'll be made in the house, but you'll be under surveillance. But I do those things because, and I'll tell you to process the pain. So when you're feeling them, ask yourself, why am I going through this thing? Because you didn't have sense. If you had sense, you wouldn't be going through this thing. So next time, remember this pain and not act right. Because sometimes even the beating doesn't solve the problem. Because some of us, the beaters are really, after a while, my mom used to use pistol, use firewood, use bucket, use anything. It's like anything.
Anyone that always used to chop the beating growing up.
I was the last one. So I enjoyed while my siblings were older than me, 9, 7, and 4. So when the 3 of them were in university, I was alone in secondary school. God. I chopped it. So they faced me square. Yes. So I was collecting that. So my SS1, SS2, SS3. It felt like chairs for me. My friends said, why did you beat you so much in your house in SS? Like maybe I was adopted or something. But apparently they felt that they missed me when I was younger. So they had to fix it.
But then they were not fixing anything.
My dear, but they don't help them, I got born again. So. And even the things I did that they don't still know. I tell my mom, I say, if I tell you what I've done to you in this life, money I've stolen from you. You will just go and give me poison to eat. So I was very sleek, I was very calculated, I was a very so I did it well, but it was more than they caught me. Small. Like when they saw me, my dad had a pumping machine for his oil in his car. It looked like a gun. You now steal it, they take it to party. So,
what?
he now saw one day, he's like, are you an robber? I was like, no. And I was just like, no. This kind of, hey, God. When you flog the shoe hit the glass scattered. I said, sorry, sir. It's not like that. Man, and then I was like, I thought I was dead. Like, you have a gun at 14. I said, say gun is please, say pumping. No, you painted it black so you can look like a gun. I said, yes, sir, but not like what you're saying. It was like he was removing his shoe. He ended up flogging. No, but I suffered a bit in my older age. But the good thing about it is my parents were, they did their own in a very funny way. They will hit you, beat you, then explain to you like a day later. Well, my dad.
But you got the explanation.
Yes, he got the explanation. Through my mom, most times. But my dad now brought a man, Pastor Ole, to the house, and he began to give me perspective to all of the beatings and all of, and that was, teenage years for me, it's really like the real formative years, because then now you can process the information, and then you can see the world, and you can, so my teenage years was for me, I love Pastor Ole influencing my thoughts, then I was now, I learned to now reminisce on everything that happened to me and my parents. And then
so that's like mentorship.
Mentorship.
So your father introduced you to mentorship?
Yes. So he was coming to the house to sleep. And when he wakes up, he'll say, well, what are you up to? I'll tell you. And now, share a few things with me. And he's been influencing me since then. Till now.
And it also
But
influences
on my tribe, yes. On my tribe. But he has a liberal, his kids are liberal with him. They call him Papa. They gist. They make their errors for people. I enjoy it, but I still feel like it's a bit of my parents' part that I like, where there should still be some level of respect for the parents. Mm-hmm. The child should I think children shouldn't have too much liberty. I think a child still needs to have, there's this fear of what can be outcome. Yes. I think that a child below 18 needs that, no matter how tiny it is, it should be there. When the child feels free, that was the worst. You know how schools don't beat children anymore. So because the kids know that they can't beat them, so there's a way. And my mom will not beat you for lying them for whatever you did that made them beat you. You should not beat you. But ask you what exactly did you do. But now we have parents that go to school and tell the parents, teacher, don't touch my child. I understand that there's abuse going on and all of that, but I think we should be very careful not to also clean off the plane of that fear of doing wrong. But that's where conscience is strengthened and empowered from. And a lot of times kids of these days really do not have it. So my kids know that, like I have a rule in my house, you can't have a phone till after secondary school. So you can access a phone in secondary school. You cannot own a phone after secondary school. You cannot own a smartphone after secondary school. You can drive a car when you turn 15. You cannot own a car after university. No matter. So if I give you a car to take to school, it's my car, it's registered in my name. If you bash it, I take the money from your allowance. So they know that. So you can't play video games during school days. Video games come out only during the week. Now, what I've done now is I put the video game in the sitting room. It's there.
It's like temptation.
You can't put it on. Not even public holiday, they don't even meet and break.
That's like discipline, right?
Yes. So now I see it is there and they don't touch it. People will be crying, Dad, now come on, what's this? They'll go to YouTube and watching games. Like, learn to control. Remember what I said earlier, power is nothing without control. So there's all of that going on. But I think, like I keep saying, there should be that layer of fear that should be there. They should not have free access.
Free will access.
Yes. So do you have any final words to people that had traumatic experiences with their fathers?
This is deep. And I think, let me slow down very fast. So I think that what you do not, I think one word that we need to retrieve from men and people is forgiveness. And let me share this argument with you. A lot of people who beat their wives hated their fathers for beating their mothers. So it's not ironic. Right? You saw your dad do something, you thought it was wrong. You were almost even fighting with him because he was doing that. Then you now grow up and do the exact same thing. I'll tell you what it is. So there's a principle in life where offense opens the door for repetition. When a generation is offended at the previous generation, when they are connected by blood, there's a tendency that generation will repeat what. In fact, I tell people, be careful what you criticize. Because when you criticize, you open yourself up. And that fear criticizing can immediately come into you. I don't know if you can understand.
Yes.
So I think men, first of all, should go to therapy, go to their God, go to their quiet place, and find a way to forgive their fathers. Because if you don't forgive your father, you will be your father. You will be your father. Take it from me. So I've come here and spoken about my father in so much, like he looks like one perfect father. I can go 2 hours and tell you the things my father didn't do right. But why I can't say it here because it doesn't matter to me anymore. What he did do right became a motivation for me to do right. And it came from a place of forgiveness. People need to forgive their parents first. Second, call the spade a spade. It's the things. People need to learn how to journal. Write out the things that he did wrong to you, around you, and other people. Write it out. Then now write what you think should be the opposite of what he did. Why you think he was wrong. So he normally, smokes in front of his kids, right? Now say, I will not smoke in front of my kids. Or I will not even smoke at all. So be very, very deliberate about it. Write it out. Then now, understand that you do not lose learnings and habits that were acquired in years, in minutes. Some of us go to church, pastor preach one powerful message, and you just need that, you cry for 15 minutes and come and say, it's over. It's done. Anyway, as I was saying, you do not unlearn a bad habit you learned for 20 years to 20 minutes. you have to understand the 90 days principle. You have to engage that. And then take deliberate steps and say, okay, this is how I'm going to learn how to be a better father by doing this, that. Because you have to unlearn it. You have to detox yourself. Because you saw it. It became a part of your mind. When you close eyes and say, our Father in heaven, you know what you see most times? It's what your father, yes. How people feel like God will let me fire and burn the earth because when your father burns down the house. So people can't understand when they say grace, mercy. People can't understand it because there's no mercy in my home. For example, tell some girls, God loves you. They can't understand because their father's love, you know how to do. For the rainy, when he's rich, he's loving. When he's broke, he's angry. You see, so they feel like when God is not happy, anything can happen. So they say, God, sorry, you, God, please forgive. Can you you have a place in your heart to forgive me? What does that even mean? He's love. He forgives for you living, but people can't. And it's not God's problem. It's the paradigm your father lived. So you have to unlearn that deliberately. But like I said before, supplements. There are books, the fantastic books of fatherhood. I think there's a video Mas Morog preached a long time ago. From fatherhood, turned. I think it's even a book. You should have look at this. Lahayo or Mas Morog. Let's check it out. This will help you learn, but also understand when you read all these books. Like I said to people, see what applies in America, might not necessarily apply in Nigeria. So you have to first of all understand the principle and not the story, and look for how to apply it to your local And then when it doesn't work, don't give up. I would rather, like they say, die trying than give it. So let's keep. Then finally, on the journey of fatherhood, it's a day at a time. Every day you wake up, it's an opportunity to be a better father to your son and to your daughter. So every day you wake up, ask yourself, what am I going to do today to my son to help him feel like he has a good father? If you keep at that, after 100 days, after 10 years, you notice that you just become a far, far, far better. And if you fail, apologize. Apologize.
Yeah, sure.
Apologize. Apologize. You will not die.
Actually say I'm sorry.
Yes. And what I would do, I would get out of this girl. I say, so your brother did something I told him. One day my son told me something I said was a lie. Say lie. Nothing that was the truth.
Wow.
So what was that to have prayers in I said, so Andre, you're actually correct. Like you're actually correct. I did it, and then sorry, I don't believe you. Maybe it's also me. Maybe I'm wired. Yeah. He didn't say you're forgiving, Daddy. Can you say this like? But whatever it is, that thing lets me know that I'm not a Superman. I'm just a dad. I can fail and succeed. But he knows I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
It was great to have you here. And thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Spotlight with Ivy. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next episode.